Can anyone keep the law of God perfectly? Since the fall, no mere human has been able to keep the law of God perfectly, but consistently breaks it in thought, word and deed. Imagine an old castle. You walk around the ruins. In its day, it was clearly grand, magnificent. It's still impressive, but the reality now is nothing compared to what it once was. Well, humanity is a glorious ruin. We were made in God's image. We were made to glorify God by enjoying Him, loving Him, trusting Him, and obeying His will, commands and law. But we don't. None of us can keep God's law perfectly. All of us are ruined. Human nature has fallen from what God made us to be. Over the next 2 questions, we will ask, well, did God create us unable to keep His law? And since no one can keep the law, what is its purpose? You see, the New City Catechism is exploring the problem we all face, and then it'll introduce us to the answer. But we all have the same problem. No one can keep God's law. It's bad news in that all of us are fallen, all of us are lawbreakers, but it's good news in that all of us are fallen. You see, us humans, we love to divide the world into 2 groups. There's the good people like us and the bad people over there. And it's easy to look down on others, to be judgmental of others. The Bible says we are all the bad people. We're all in the same boat. We share the same spiritual illness. We consistently break God's law in thought, word and deed. And this truth is called original sin. It says that human nature is corrupt. Humanity is a fallen castle. You can see the traces of glory and grandeur, but we're not what we should be. There's no part of me that is pure. Original sin says, don't be proud. Don't think you are fundamentally better than other people. Don't divide the world in 2 and claim to be superior. Don't divide the world and think that you are inferior. All of us break God's law. All of us need to be rescued, to be put right. Jesus was once talking with some people who thought that when they went outside and mixed with other people, they got contaminated by the others. And Jesus said the problem is not out there, it's in here. The human heart is the source of corruption, contamination. Jesus said it's from within, out of the person's heart, that evil thoughts come. Sexual immorality, theft, murder, adultery, greed, malice, deceit, lewdness, envy, slander, arrogance and folly. He said all these evils come from inside and defile a person. The people Jesus was speaking to, they thought they were better than everybody else. Jesus said, no. No mere human has ever obeyed God's law. Every mere human is a fallen ruin. Stop your superiority. Give up the I am better than you attitude. When we measure ourselves against God's law, we all fall short. Wouldn't it be great if the architect of the castle could come down and repair the ruins? The Bible says he has. But more of that in future weeks. Can anyone keep the law of God perfectly? Since the fall, no mere human has been able to keep the law of God perfectly, but consistently breaks it in thought, word and deed.